How's it going, everyone? I'm Gio, and this video is all about SMS Paints. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. I think I got something special for you this time. This is actually going to be video 1 of 3, and the entire build series is going to be about the Scale Modeler Supply paints, also known as SMS. Now, if you're a patron of this channel or you follow me on Instagram, you're well aware that I really like SMS paints, and I am so happy to finally say that Scott Taylor, also known as the Ghost of Xeon, also the owner and operator of the Scale Modeler Supply, has decided to collaborate with me to provide you an entire build series all about SMS paints. For those of you who may not be familiar with SMS, the full company name is actually the Scale Modeler Supply. They're an Australian-based company. They specialize in tools, accessories, and these awesome acrylic lacquer paints that actually come pre-thinned and ready to go. All you have to do is shake well and you're ready to rock. Now, I have used other pre-thinned solvent-based paints in the past, but I've never used a paint like SMS. They dry super fast and they actually cover extremely well. Not only that, their paint goes a very long way, which is one of the things that I'm going to keep in mind and actually show you guys while I'm painting. Yes, I'm actually going to show you guys airbrushing this time. It's something that I like to do off camera. A few of you have asked for me to show more of the process. I did rig the camera up a little differently this time to kind of show you that view. When I say the camera, I mean my cell phone, so we'll see how that works out for you. Now, before we go any further, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, which is actually SMS Paints themselves, for sending me all the paints for this build. Now, I think it's really cool that Scott not only sent me the paints, but he actually picked out the kit and colors for this build. We actually went back and forth. We've been wanting to collaborate for quite some time. And after showing him a picture of my backlog, and if you've already looked at the thumbnail of the video, you know that I'm working on the master grade Providence. I think it's actually cool because I haven't seen a lot of people work on the Providence other than the conversion kits that are out there made out of resin. And this kit was actually a gift from a good friend of mine, so it just makes it all special. Last but not least, there's actually an online modeling competition that I saw on Instagram. I'll put a picture of it here for you. I'm actually going to enter in that competition. The rules are pretty strict for what I'm going to enter. I'm going to go in with the master grade, and it's just going to be a nice factory finish repaint. There's no scribing, there's no plot plating or any type of modifications for that specific build. But this is basically my wheelhouse. I think that this is also going to be the best way to showcase SMS by just doing a super crisp and clean factory finish build. There's going to be a lot of masking that goes on, and I'm going to show you guys my entire process and really share everything with you. So why are we doing 3 videos? The reason being is we're going to go from primer to paints to top coats and finishes, all SMS, with the exception of only a few paints that I just didn't have from the line. This video is going to be all about the primer and their metallics. So SMS Black Primer already comes pre-thinned in a 50 ml jar. You shake it up very, very well and then shake it up a little bit more. Get yourself a pipette, throw it in the airbrush, and right around 15 to 20 psi, depending on what you're using. Now, SMS recommends a 0.3 needle. I'm actually going to be using my Iwata Neo, which is a 0.35. I'm specifically using that because I don't want to go ahead and use my higher end airbrushes and have someone think that it was the airbrush that did the work and not the paint. A lot of people in this hobby actually consider the Neo to be like a trashy airbrush. I don't. It works very well for me. So we're going to go and use something that is more open and available to a lot of people in this hobby, which is the Neo, which you can get anywhere from like 40 to 60 bucks depending on where you're shopping. Now, this primer, as I mentioned, already comes pre-thinned. There's no need for thinning other than what's in the bottle, but I did go ahead and thin it out a little bit more using Mr. Leveling Thinner. That was just to facilitate how I'm used to spraying out of the airbrush, like a comfort zone thing for me. Let's go ahead and check it out. So as you can see here, using the Neo right at like 18 to 20 psi, I'm doing light dusting coats and then kind of like a mist to cover it up. I have my lights on pretty high, so it might look like I'm spraying it very wet. It's more of like a mid-range wet, and then it actually shrinks down and levels out very, very well for a primer. This actually mimics Mr. Hobby's 1500 Black very well. Now, let's talk about the inner frame color. Now that it's primed in black and dry, I'm going to go in and use their metallic steel. I really really like this color. It's very dark, but it also gets the point across that it's metallic. And it very much mimics the Gundam's color. If you guys know that like $2,000 HG that's coming out, it's kind of like this same finish, which I think is pretty cool. Again, shake it up very well and it goes down super smooth. I barely had to do more than like one quick pass on all the parts. And again, keeping in mind with how much bang you get for your buck, this is a 30 ml jar. And after measuring it out, I actually used just over 16 mLs, probably closer to 18. So I still have about half of the jar there. And I gotta tell you, for a master grade, although it doesn't have a full inner frame, there are some large pieces and this paint actually went all the way. So I'm really happy that I have some extra of this left over. So if you were wondering how much paint you're actually using on the kit, about half a jar for this specific one. Quick disclaimer, when it comes to the amount of paint that I'm using on this build, I am actually going to be airbrushing every single piece of this kit. I know that sounds crazy because a lot of people will keep the kit fully assembled, they'll prime the kit, take it apart, and only paint the pieces that they see. I'm nuts, and I also want to show you how good these paints are and how much you get for your money. So I'm painting every piece, even those that you'll never ever see. Why? I like painting, and I got a new air compressor, and so now I have a reason to keep painting. And as you can see here, the paint goes down super smooth. It's got a nice shine. And again, because it is this acrylic lacquer, it's going to dry super fast, super hard, and very, very clean. Now, one of the things that this brand has that a lot of other pre-thinned lacquers doesn't is its durability. You can go ahead and mask directly on this paint and you're not gonna pull any of it up, which is really cool. And you'll be seeing that later on in the series as I start masking a majority of this build for all the color separations. Again, I just wanna give a huge thank you to Scott Taylor and the SMS team for sending me out these paints and giving me an opportunity to provide you guys with this video series. I really hope you enjoy it. If you wanna go ahead and get your hands on some SMS paints to paint along with me, you can get them directly from SMS Paints, which I will put a link down below in the description. Or if you live here in the United States and want to further support me in this channel, go on over to usagundamstore.com, use my code GO10, get yourself some SMS paint, save some money, support the channel. Thanks again. If you did like this video and want more videos like it, please like the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when the next video pops up, and I'll catch you on the next one.